Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen and this is the looking back at my 2017 reading tag. So I've been seeing this tag around and I really like it. I think it's very short and simple and to the point, so I really wanted to do it. I'm very sorry if the lighting's really bad or it gets weird throughout the video. It's a very cold, shitty day here in Florida. The cold front has come in. Obviously it's not as bad as it is in some other places, so if you are somebody that is struggling with the horrific storms, then I really hope that you are safe and that you are reading a lot, hopefully, and that you have a good cup of coffee and that are getting through the storms in a good way. Okay, so the first question is, how many books did I read in 2017? I read a total of 57 books in 2017. In reality, I read more, but I don't really count the other ones because they were just books that I had to read for school or rereads. Like, for example, I reread Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, but I don't really count that just because I reread it. So I read a total of 57 new books. I thought it was 56 for a while, but then I forgot that I read The Power by Naomi Alderman really late in the year, so the total is 57. So what is my reading goal for 2018? So I have set my Goodreads reading goal to 40 books. I don't know if I'm gonna change it. I might change it to 35 books. I don't like to set super high Goodreads reading goal just because I get really anxious about it and I get stressed out, and I feel a lot happier when I am reading just for the fun of it and not because I want to hit a limit or hit a specific number. Question number 3 is my best and worst books of the year. So I made a whole video about my best books of the year. I talked about my top 10. So if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and watch it. I will link it at the bottom. My worst read of 2017 was definitely 100% Harry Potter and the Cursed Child Part 1 and 2 by J.K. Rowling, and I think 2 other people whose name I do not know and whose name I will not search, because in my opinion, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was absolutely awful, and frankly it was so bad it was almost disrespectful. I hated that I waited for it for so long. I mean, all of the Harry Potter generation, I guess, was really waiting for the Harry Potter and Cursed Child play to come out because, you know, it's been so long since Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows came out. And it was just such a disappointment. It read like really bad Harry Potter fan fiction. There were so many different ways that they could have gone with it, and they just picked the worst way possible. I'm glad it exists just because there were some, I guess, okay moments. Like, I liked seeing Harry and Ginny again and their relationship. I like the relationship between Albus and Scorpius, even though I did not in any way appreciated the queer baiting that happened. I'm just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. Another really disappointing and bad read for me this year was Revenge by Yoko Ogawa. This is a short story collection that I was really looking forward to because Jen Campbell has recommended it a couple times in her channel, but unfortunately I didn't like it. It's this like dark horror filled short story collection that I felt was trying too hard to be shocking. I can't even remember anything from that collection except for like cut thumbs and I don't know, some guy that had like a tiger for a pet. There was a story about that, I think. It was unsettling in a bad way, and it was uncomfortable in a bad way, and I didn't like it. Next question is, which new authors did I discover? So I discovered so many incredible authors this year. It was just a fantastic reading year for me when it came to that. Some of my favorites were Elizabeth Gaskell, Anne Bronte, George Sanders, Andre Aciman, Ruth Oseki. You know, I really felt like this year I discovered authors that just blew my mind and that I'm certainly going to keep on reading in the future. Next question is, which author did I read the most from in 2017? And that was actually Jane Austen, and I only read 2 books by her. I didn't read a lot of the same authors, which is kind of new for me because for the last 2 years I have read a lot of the same authors. Like, I remember I reread the Harry Potter series. I remember that I also read all of Sarah Waters' books kind of like in one go. But this year wasn't like that for me. I was really excited about reading from new people. I read 2 from Jane Austen. I read Pride and Prejudice and Emma. Next question is favorite release from 2017, and that certainly has to go to Lincoln in the Bardo by George Sanders. This again is one of my top 10 books of the year. Absolutely adore this. Thought it was so innovative, so different, so moving, just A+ of a book. My favorite classic of 2017 was definitely North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Again, I raved about this in my top 10 books of the year video, so if you want to go ahead and watch me very embarrassedly proclaim my love for Elizabeth Gaskell and for this novel, then you can go ahead and do that. Okay, so next question. Current amount of books I own. Well, I own about 110 books right now, but the reality is that about 20 of those should really go away. I should unhaul them because they're books from when I was really young, books that I read when I was a tween, books that I honestly like don't even know why I still own. I own them because I'm probably like a book hoarder or something. So yeah, about 20 of those should probably go away this year. But as a whole, I own 110 books. I have about 80 displayed on a shelf, and then the other ones are kind of in my closet, just hiding away. To that 110 number, I am going to be adding some because I do have a book order that is making its way. I did order a couple of books in the past week, so maybe that 110 will turn into, how many books did I order? Like 6. And then the final question is, how many books do I have on my TBR list? When I check my Goodreads TBR list, I have a number of 1,582 books. So that is a lot. That is a lot of books that I want to read. About 100 of these though, I know are from Goodreads giveaways. So I should probably one day like take the time and go through my whole Goodreads TBR, because I know that there's like a lot of Goodreads giveaway books in there that are basically like recipe books and coloring books and things like that. But I do have quite a long TBR list. But that doesn't really scare me or make me anxious because I want to read all the books all the time. So I know that that is a pretty crazy thing to do. So I don't really mind going on Goodreads and just adding all the books that seem interesting to me to my TBR, because some of them I want to read more than others, and some of them I know that I will get to at some point. So even though a TBR that is like more than 1,000 books long is huge, it's actually not that much of a stress for me. Okay guys, so those were my answers for the 2017 looking back tag. I really like this tag, like I said at the beginning, really short, really simple. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. I think it's really fun. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope that you have a lovely day, and bye!